All right, guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pick'em with HuddleGG, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit differently. We're going to be going over our latest and our last update for Madden 24 in regards to our ability tier list that we work on with MUT.GG. Now, today we're going to talk about where you can find this list. We're going to talk about what goes into making the list, and then we want to hear from you guys. What do you think we got wrong? What do you think we got right with the list? And if there's anything you would change, make sure you comment below for that. So when you are on MUT.GG, and again, if you guys don't know what this website is, definitely head over here. It's a phenomenal website, anything Ultimate Team related here in Madden. But when you're on MUT.GG, you want to go to the top here and you want to click on these three dots. Now, under MUT.GG resources, there's going to be something that says abilities tier list. Okay, you can see there are a ton of different things you have available to you on the website. So like I said, if you have not been to this website before, definitely check this out after the video. But again, we're going to go to abilities tier list, and the first thing you're going to see is the tier list pop up and elite tiers at the top. Okay, so these are broken down into tiers for all the abilities in Ultimate Team, and what we do is we work with MUT.GG to try to give people access to what the best abilities in the game are, and what the abilities that they may want to get off the field are, right? There are certain abilities that, although they sound great and they may be something that, oh, that sounds like it would be awesome for me, sometimes they just don't work that great in the game, or sometimes there are reasons why you shouldn't be running those, and we'll talk about that today. But you can see under each tier, it's going to give you a quick explanation about what it takes to get into this tier, right? So under elite tier abilities, these are going to be the best abilities in Madden 24. If they fit your scheme and you have players that can equip them, you should be using these abilities, okay? So in other words, these are the must-have abilities in Madden. If you have the option to use these, you definitely want to have these on the field at this time of the year. And again, we do update this throughout the year. So if there's something that is not effective earlier in the year or people don't have it, something like film study, obviously as the year goes on, we will add those and move those throughout these lists, just depending on the state of the game, right? Below the elite tier are going to be your gold tier abilities. Now, there's not really anything wrong with gold tier abilities. They're just a little notch below the elite tier, right? These are still very effective abilities, and they can have really significant impact on the field if you are using these. Okay, below that are going to be our silver tier abilities. Now, silver tier does not mean it's not a great ability. Typically what we do here is if it's very scheme dependent, okay, so something like fast break, that's going to be something that helps your quarterback on quarterback designed runs. If you don't run any quarterback designed runs, it's irrelevant to have fast break on the field, right? So this is a very scheme dependent ability. Same thing with honorary lineman, right? Honorary lineman is going to be something that is used if you're running the ball a ton. If you're not running the ball a ton, it's kind of going to be irrelevant. Now, other than ones that are scheme dependent, we also put abilities in here where they may be effective, but there may be a better option for you to use on that specific type of player, right? So something like Acrobat. Acrobat can be an effective ability, but as you'll see as we go up back to elite tier later, zone KOs are much more important on your defensive backs and defensive players. So again, even though Acrobat could work, we're going to really want to put on other abilities to our DBs if we have the chance. So again, that's what you're going to see here in the silver tier. And then bronze tier are going to be something that it's not necessarily that you should always avoid it. Now, there are some abilities on here that you really should avoid just in general because they don't work as they should. And there's not really any benefit to having them. But also something that's in here are just going to be things that, based off the state of the game, aren't working the way that you want them to. And for instance, one that comes immediately to my mind is mid-in and mid-out elite, right? Mid-in and mid-out elite are great abilities if zone KOs weren't a thing, right? It helps you ensure that you catch the ball in certain areas of the field. And one really cool thing about this tier list is if you ever click on the ability itself, it'll bring you to the ability where it'll show you all of the players that have this discounted. It'll show you the archetypes and what it takes for them to get these this specific ability. And then at the top left here, it'll give you the ability description, right? So receivers with this ability catch more consistently while catching passes 10 to 20 yards from the line of scrimmage and inside the numbers. And if you peek over here to the right, you're going to see advice from HuddleGG, right? With zone KOs so prevalent right now in the game, it's not worth using an ability slot here, right? So it's not that this ability doesn't work. It's just the fact that it's always going to be countered by a zone KO, and with zone KOs being so popular in the game right now, it's not worth spending your AP or ability slot on that ability. Now, the last one you're going to see is going to be the unrated abilities, okay? Now, everything in here right now is either something that you don't get in Ultimate Team, something like Arm Talent, or it's just going to be program-specific X factors, okay? So, for instance, something like Angry Runs, we have Angry Runs listed in the tier list above. We just didn't go through and do every single program because, again, Angry Runs is going to work the same. The different programs just determine how frequently your guy is going to be lit up, right? Obviously, the more frequent your X factor can be active during the game, the better. But the actual X factor themselves still work the same on the field. So again, all of these are just program-specific X factors. Again, you're going to see Avalanche up top. You're going to see Angry Runs. You're going to see all of these somewhere on the tier list if you're looking for those. Okay, so let's go back up. Let's look at a few of the gold and a few of the elite tier abilities. And again, we want to know from you guys, again, what did we get right? What did we get wrong? So a few things that we did move here is we did move Hot Route Master down to gold tier. Okay, now the reason we did that, Hot Route Master is a great ability, right? It is something that is very effective. It gives you more routes on the field. It definitely opens up your offense. But the reason we moved it down is there are better abilities like Master Tactician available now, and stuff like Backyard Quarterback where you get Hot Route Master plus another ability still for that 0 AP you're going to find throughout the game, right? So it's not that Hot Route Master is not effective. It's just there is something that now combines Hot Route Master with another ability, right? So that's the reason why we move that one down a little bit. But you can see something like Quarterback Playmaker, same reason. It's a very good ability. It's just the fact that you have something like Backyard Quarterback, which gives you Hot Route Master plus Quarterback Playmaker, right? So we're going to be much more effective if we use something like that. One of the things that we did move up to gold is Enforcer Supreme. This is actually a borderline elite ability as well. If you really buy into Enforcer Supremes on your field, you can really tire out the opponent and cause a ton of turnovers. For those of you that have watched AntCap play, AntCap does a ton of this, and he has these all over the field, and it's very frustrating to play against him because he is able to cause turnovers so easily. Okay, so again, you can go through, look at these gold tiers. You're going to see Flat Zone KO is the only zone KO we really have in gold tier. It is effective. It's going to be effective in the smallest area of the field, right? So it's only effective if we click on it less than 10 yards from the line of scrimmage and outside the hash marks, okay? So it just has the smallest area of effectiveness between the zone KOs. Still effective if they throw it to the flat, but mid zones and your deep zones are going to be a little bit more useful because that's where people are going to attack down the field more. Okay, so again, if you look up at the elite tier abilities, these are the ones that we say if you can find them and if you have players that have it, these are must-have abilities, right? Angry Runs, as we've talked about before, Angry Runs is very frustrating to deal with if you're a defensive player. It's going to pretty much all but guarantee you break that first tackle, especially if they don't have abilities on their defense. Backyard Quarterback, again, we talked about that. That's a combination of Hot Route Master and Quarterback Playmaker. Colossus going to give you really great pass rush. If you are running an organic pass rush where you want to get pressure with your defensive line, you definitely want to be running Colossus. Deep end zone, deep out zone, and deep zone KO, all very, very effective and all must have in some form, right? So if you have deep zone KO, you don't need these two. But something like deep out zone is going to be fine on your outside cornerbacks because they're never really going to be in the middle of the field anyways. So you don't need to worry about them having deep end zone KO. Okay, your safeties, we would recommend using deep zone KO if you can get it, just because it's going to combine these two abilities here. Now, film study, because we are later in the year, again, it's very controversial topic. Should it be in the game? Should it not? It is in the game right now, so we highly recommend using it if you have the ability. It's going to show you the play art of your opponent. If they run the play, I believe 3 times in a quarter. Gunslinger still needed on the quarterbacks. You definitely want to have that quicker release. Lurk Artist must have for those linebackers, making sure you can get those animations. Master Tactician, again, this is going to be something that's a combination of abilities. So this is going to give you Hot Route Master. It's going to give you Conductor, and it's going to be giving you Quarterback Playmaker. So 3 abilities in one there for that one. One of the hot ones right now in the game is this Momentum Shift. Momentum Shift is going to help you shut off your opponent's pre-lit abilities. Okay, so I know Aiden Hutchinson is probably the most popular one right now because he does activate the most frequent, if I'm not mistaken. So again, something that's really nice to have on the field to make sure that your opponent can't have those pre-lit guys working the entire game. Omaha, again, is going to give you the play art of your opponent on defense. So if you come out in any play on offense, you're going to see your opponent's defensive coverage, so it's going to make it really easy to attack. Pass lead elite and set feet lead are going to be the same thing essentially. Pass lead elite's a little better if you can get it, but set feet lead is fine. It's going to obviously give you that ability to get that ball in there quicker with better zip. Pick artist is going to all but guarantee you get that interception if you are getting your hands on the ball with your defender. Reinforcement and universal coverage are huge right now. Universal coverage is pretty much all of the zone and man KOs combined. And reinforcement is the same thing, other than the fact that you're not going to get the break on the ball. Okay, so you will still get the knockout. So if you're close, you're going to get those KOs, whether you're in man or zone. And you also have the ability to defeat run blocks a little bit better. But the reason people are using this ability is the fact that you can get those zone KOs anywhere on the field for that one ability. Secure Protector, pretty much a must-have on any offensive lineman that you have. Secure Tackler and Tackle Supreme, with Angry Runs being so popular, we definitely want to have reasons or ways to make these tackles on these crazy running back stacks that you're going to see out there on the field. And then Threat Detector is something that, if you have the ability, it's going to give you the blitzers that your opponent has on 3rd and 4th down. And again, just a very, very effective thing to understanding where the blitz is coming from. And if you can get that on the field, it's definitely a must-have ability as well. So again, those are our elite ones. Again, you can come through to this website, look at this list, and you want to look at all of these tiers. Like I said, let us know what we got right, let us know what we got wrong, and let us know if there's anything you would have changed with this specific list.